My beloved child, listen carefully, because what you are about to hear is not random and not meant for everyone. Your eyes did not land on this message by accident, and your soul did not feel this pull without reason. There is something deeper happening around you, something unseen, something that has been silently influencing your life while you were trying to understand why things are not moving, why doors that should have opened stayed closed, why people you trusted suddenly changed, why opportunities slipped away at the last moment. You felt it, didn't you? That strange heaviness, that unexplainable delay, that feeling that no matter how much effort you put, something invisible keeps holding you back. And I need you to understand this clearly. You were chosen long before you even realized your worth. You were marked by heaven for something greater, something powerful, something that carries light into places filled with darkness. And because of that, not everything around you wants to see you rise, not everything around you celebrates your elevation. Some things resist it, some energies try to slow it down, some forces attempt to distract you, confuse you, and even weaken your belief, because once your belief breaks, your path becomes unclear. And that is exactly where the blockage begins, not in your ability, not in your destiny, but in the space between your faith and your doubt. Because the moment you start questioning your own worth, the moment you begin to believe that maybe you are not enough, maybe you are not chosen, maybe you are just like everyone else, that is when the invisible wall starts forming around your blessings. It is subtle, it is silent, and it grows stronger every time you ignore your inner voice, every time you settle for less, every time you stay in places that drain your spirit instead of feeding it. You see, being chosen is not just about receiving blessings, it is also about carrying responsibility. It is about walking a path that requires awareness, discipline, and courage. Because your journey is different, your timing is different, your struggles are different, and so are your victories. And what you are experiencing right now is not a denial of blessings, it is a preparation phase, a testing ground where your patience, your faith, and your alignment are being shaped into something unshakable. Because the truth is, your blessings are not blocked, they are waiting for you to align with the version of yourself that can hold them, protect them, and multiply them. Because imagine if everything you prayed for was given to you instantly, without growth, without understanding, without strength. You would not be able to sustain it, you would lose it just as quickly as you received it. And heaven does not work like that. Heaven prepares you before it places you, it strengthens you before it elevates you, and it removes from your life anything that cannot go with you to the next level, even if it hurts, even if it confuses you, even if it makes you feel alone at times. Because sometimes the blockage you feel is actually protection, sometimes the delay is actually redirection, and sometimes the silence is actually guidance, pushing you to listen more closely to what truly matters. But there is something else you must face honestly. There are moments when the blockage is not external but internal, moments when your own habits, your own fears, your own attachments become the chains that hold you back. You hold on to people who have already shown you they cannot walk your path. You entertain thoughts that weaken your spirit. You compare your journey with others who are not even on the same mission as you, and slowly, without realizing, you start dimming your own light. And that is where the real battle begins, not outside but within. You must learn to recognize what is draining you, what is distracting you, what is disconnecting you from your higher purpose. Because not everything deserves your attention, not everything deserves your energy, and not everyone deserves access to your spirit. You have to become selective, you have to become aware, you have to start protecting your peace like it is the foundation of your destiny, because it is. And the moment you begin to do that, the moment you start choosing growth over comfort, truth over illusion, discipline over distraction, something shifts within you, something awakens, and that invisible wall that once felt so strong begins to crack, because it was never stronger than you, it only seemed that way. When you forgot who you are not ordinary you are not here to live a small life filled with constant struggle and confusion. You are here to rise, to break patterns, to inspire, to create, to lead, and to transform not just your life but the lives of those connected to you. And that kind of purpose comes with resistance, that kind of calling attracts challenges, that kind of destiny demands strength. But do not mistake these challenges as rejection. They are refinement. They are shaping you into someone who cannot be easily broken, someone who cannot be easily distracted, someone who cannot be easily stopped. And once you understand this, everything changes. Your perspective shifts, your energy shifts, your actions shift, and suddenly the same situations that once felt like obstacles start revealing themselves as lessons, as stepping stones, as hidden opportunities guiding you forward. And you begin to move differently, you begin to think differently, you begin to feel a quiet confidence growing inside you, not because everything is perfect but because you finally understand that you are on the right path, even when it doesn't look like it, even when it doesn't feel like it. Because faith is not about seeing everything clearly, it is about trusting even when you cannot see. And right now, this is your moment, this is your turning point, this is where you stop asking why things are blocked and start asking what needs to change within you, what needs to be released, what needs to be strengthened, what needs to be realigned. Because the answers you seek are not far away, they are already within you, waiting for you to listen, waiting for you to act, waiting for you to believe again. And once you do, once you truly step into that belief with conviction, with clarity, with purpose, nothing will be able to hold your blessings back anymore, because they were never meant to be blocked forever. They were meant to arrive at the exact moment you are ready to receive them fully. And when that moment comes, it will not be subtle, it will not be small, it will be undeniable, it will be powerful, and it will remind you why everything had to happen the way it did. So do not lose hope, do not lose faith, do not lose sight of who you are becoming, because what is ahead of you is far greater than what you have been through, and what is waiting for you is already yours. You just have to rise into it. My beloved child, listen even deeper now, because what you felt in your spirit was only the beginning, and what I am about to reveal will open your eyes to the hidden layer of your journey, the part that most people never understand. The reason why your blessings feel delayed is not because they are denied, but because there are forces, both seen and unseen, that recognize your potential before you fully step into it, and they react to it long before you realize your own power. This is why you have experienced patterns that seem to repeat. This is why certain situations feel like cycles that you cannot easily break, because every time you get close to elevation, something tries to pull you back into familiarity, into comfort, into the old version of yourself that no longer matches who you are becoming. And if you are not aware of this pattern, you may mistake it for failure. You may think that something is wrong with you, when in reality, something is reacting to you, reacting to your growth, reacting to your shift, reacting to the light that is beginning to rise within you. And the more that light grows, the more resistance you may feel, because light exposes everything. It exposes hidden intentions, it exposes false connections, it exposes environments that are not aligned with your purpose. And once exposed, those things cannot stay the same. They either transform or they leave, and that process can feel uncomfortable. It can feel like loss, it can feel like confusion, but it is actually alignment taking place in real time. You are being repositioned, you are being redirected, you are being refined into the version of yourself that is capable of carrying what is already prepared for you. But here is where many people lose their way. They try to hold on to what is leaving, they try to fix what is already broken, they try to force what is not meant to stay, and in doing so they create their own blockage. They delay their own blessings, not because they are not worthy, but because they are not willing to release what no longer serves them. And I need you to hear this clearly. You cannot step into your next level while holding on to your past identity. You cannot receive new blessings with an old mindset. You cannot walk into new doors while standing in old rooms. Something has to change, something has to be surrendered, something has to be let go. And yes, it may feel difficult, yes, it may feel uncertain, but growth has never been comfortable. Transformation has never been easy, and elevation has never been simple. It requires courage, it requires trust, it requires a decision to move forward even when you do not have all the answers. And right now you are standing at that exact point in your life where you must decide, will you continue to question your path, or will you start trusting it? Will you continue to focus on what is missing, or will you start recognizing what is being prepared for you? Will you continue to look at your delays as punishment, or will you begin to see them as protection and positioning? Because the truth is, there are things you asked for that if they had come earlier, they would have destroyed you, they would have overwhelmed you, they would have distracted you from your true purpose. And so they were held back, not to hurt you but to prepare you. And now you are closer than you think, closer than you feel, closer than you can even imagine. But closeness requires clarity, and clarity requires stillness. You must learn to quiet the noise around you. You must learn to detach from the constant opinions, distractions, and pressures that try to pull your attention away from your inner voice, because your inner voice already knows the truth. It already knows what needs to change. It already knows what needs to end and what needs to begin. But you keep ignoring it, you keep delaying it, you keep convincing yourself that you have more time, that you can fix everything later, that you can wait for the perfect moment. But the perfect moment is not coming. The perfect moment is now. This is your opportunity to realign. This is your opportunity to reset. This is your opportunity to reclaim your power and step into your purpose with intention and awareness. Because once you do, everything begins to shift, not overnight, not instantly, but steadily, powerfully, and permanently. You will start to notice that things that once felt difficult become easier, decisions that once felt confusing become clearer, paths that once felt blocked begin to open in ways you did not expect. And that is when you will realize that the blockage was never permanent. It was temporary, it was conditional, it was waiting for you to reach this level of understanding, this level of growth, this level of readiness. And now that you are here, now that you are awakening, now that you are seeing beyond the surface, nothing can stop what is coming for you. Not doubt, not fear, not delay, not even the opinions of others, because your journey was never meant to be controlled by others. It was meant to be guided by something greater, something divine, something that placed you here with intention and purpose. And that purpose is still alive within you. It has never left you, it has never been taken from you. It has only been waiting for you to recognize it, to accept it, and to act on it without hesitation, without fear, without limitation. So rise now, not with arrogance but with awareness, not with pressure but with purpose, not with doubt but with belief. Because what is unfolding in your life right now is not random, it is not coincidence, it is alignment in motion. And you are exactly where you need to be to receive what has always been meant for you. My beloved child, now stay with me closely, because what you are about to understand will change the way you see everything that has been happening in your life up until this very moment. Because there is a deeper truth that many never reach, and it is this: not every blockage is meant to stop you. Some blockages are meant to reveal you. They are meant to show you who you truly are when everything around you feels uncertain, when nothing external is giving you confirmation, when the path ahead is not clearly visible, and yet you still choose to move forward, you still choose to believe, you still choose to rise even when it would be easier to give up. That is where your true identity is formed, that is where your strength is built, and that is where your connection to your higher purpose becomes unbreakable, because anyone can believe when everything is working, anyone can stay strong when everything is going their way. But you were not called to be ordinary, you were called to stand firm in moments where others would fall. You were called to see light in moments where others only see darkness, and that is why your journey has been different, that is why your path has not been easy, that is why your blessings have not come in a simple, predictable way, because what is being built within you is not common, it is rare, it is powerful, it is something that requires time, patience, and pressure to fully develop. And I know there were moments when you questioned everything, moments when you wondered if you were being forgotten, if your prayers were being ignored, if your efforts were meaningless. But look at you now, you are still here, you are still seeking, you are still pushing forward, and that alone is proof that something greater is guiding you, something greater is sustaining you, even in the moments when you felt like you had nothing left. And here is what you must understand next: the blockage you felt was not only testing your faith, it was strengthening your discernment, it was teaching you to see beyond appearances, to recognize truth without needing constant validation, to feel energy without needing words, to trust your intuition without needing approval from others. Because where you are going, not everyone will understand you, not everyone will agree with you, and not everyone will support you. And if you depend on their approval, you will lose your direction, you will hesitate, you will second guess yourself, and that hesitation is enough to delay what is already meant for you. So you must learn to move with inner certainty. You must learn to trust the quiet knowing within you, even when it does not make sense to others, even when it does not follow the normal path, because your path was never meant to be normal, it was meant to be purposeful. And purpose does not always look logical from the outside, but it always feels right on the inside. And that feeling, that deep sense of knowing that you cannot fully explain, that is your guide, that is your connection, that is your alignment. And the more you listen to it, the stronger it becomes, the clearer it becomes, and the more unstoppable you become, because now you are not just moving based on circumstances, you are moving based on clarity. You are not reacting to life, you are directing it. And that is a powerful shift. That is where everything begins to change, because when you stop seeing yourself as someone waiting for blessings and start seeing yourself as someone preparing for responsibility, your entire mindset transforms. You begin to act differently, you begin to think differently, you begin to carry yourself differently, and that energy alone starts attracting what was once delayed, because now you are in alignment with it, now you are ready for it, now you can handle it without losing yourself. And understand this clearly: your blessings are not small, they are not ordinary, they are not temporary, they are meant to impact not only you but those around you. They are meant to create change, they are meant to open doors, not just for you but for others connected to your life. And that kind of blessing requires a different level of awareness, a different level of discipline, a different level of strength. And that is exactly what you have been building through every challenge, through every delay, through every moment of confusion. You have been evolving into someone who can carry that weight without breaking, someone who can stand in that position without losing their purpose, someone who can receive without becoming distracted. And now you are approaching a moment of shift, a moment where things begin to make sense, a moment where what once felt like blockage reveals itself as preparation, a moment where what once felt like loss reveals itself as protection. And you will look back and realize that nothing was wasted, not your pain, not your waiting, not your struggles. Everything had a purpose, everything had a role in shaping you into who you are becoming. And who you are becoming is not someone who will be easily stopped, not someone who will be easily discouraged, not someone who will be easily distracted, because now you know too much, now you have seen too much, now you have felt too much to go back to who you used to be, and that is your power, that is your advantage, that is your breakthrough waiting to fully unfold. So do not shrink now, do not doubt now, do not hesitate now, because you are closer than ever, closer to clarity, closer to alignment, closer to receiving everything that has been prepared for you, and when it arrives it will not feel foreign, it will not feel overwhelming, it will feel right, it will feel earned, it will feel like something that was always meant to be yours, because it was and it still is, and nothing that is truly meant for you can ever be permanently taken away. It can only be delayed until you are ready to receive it fully, and you are stepping into that readiness right now, whether you fully realize it or not, and that is why you must continue forward with confidence, with awareness, with purpose. Because what is ahead of you is not just a blessing, it is a transformation that will redefine your entire life. My beloved child, this is the moment where everything comes together, where the confusion begins to clear, and where the truth you have been slowly awakening to finally settles deep within your spirit, because you have not come this far just to remain where you are. You have not endured everything you have faced just to stay stuck in the same cycle, and you have not been chosen just to live an ordinary life filled with unanswered questions and silent frustration. There is a shift happening right now, even if you cannot fully see it yet, even if the physical evidence has not completely appeared. There is movement in places you cannot touch, there is alignment forming in ways you cannot predict, and there are doors quietly unlocking that you once believed were permanently closed. But before those doors fully open, you must understand the final and most important truth: the blockage you felt was never stronger than your purpose. It only seemed powerful because it was unfamiliar, it only felt permanent because you were still discovering your own strength. And now that you have seen through it, now that you have recognized the patterns, now that you have begun to realign yourself with your higher path, that blockage no longer has authority over you, it no longer controls your direction, it no longer defines your outcome, because you have stepped into awareness, and awareness is the beginning of true power, because once you see clearly you cannot unsee, once you understand deeply you cannot return to ignorance, and once you awaken fully you cannot be easily misled again. And this is where your transformation becomes undeniable. This is where your energy changes in a way that others can feel even if they cannot explain it. This is where your presence begins to carry a different weight, a different clarity, a different sense of purpose, because you are no longer moving from a place of confusion, you are moving from a place of understanding. You are no longer reacting to what happens around you. You are responding with intention. You are no longer waiting for permission. You are stepping forward with quiet confidence, knowing that what is meant for you is already in motion, and nothing external can truly block what is divinely aligned with your path. And as you continue to walk in this awareness, you will begin to notice something powerful. The same situations that once drained you will no longer have the same effect. The same people who once confused you will no longer hold the same influence. The same fears that once stopped you will no longer feel as strong, because you have outgrown them, you have evolved beyond them. And that is the true sign that your blessings are no longer blocked. They are approaching, they are aligning, they are finding their way to you as you step more fully into who you were always meant to be. And yes, there may still be moments of doubt, there may still be moments where the old thoughts try to return, where the old fears try to whisper, where the old habits try to pull you back. But now you are different, now you are aware, now you can recognize those moments for what they are: not truth, but echoes of a version of you that you have already outgrown. And in those moments you will have a choice. You can either fall back into the familiar, or you can rise into the new. And each time you choose to rise, each time you choose alignment, each time you choose growth, you strengthen your path, you accelerate your progress, and you bring yourself closer to everything that has been waiting for Because your blessings were never lost, they were never taken, they were never meant to be denied, they were simply waiting for you to meet them at the right level of awareness, the right level of strength, the right level of readiness, and now you are arriving at that level step by step, thought by thought, decision by decision, and as you continue forward you will begin to see the evidence of this shift. Opportunities will appear in unexpected ways. Connections will form with the right people. Clarity will replace confusion, and a sense of peace will begin to settle within you, not because everything is perfect, but because you finally trust the process, you finally trust yourself, and you finally trust that what is meant for you cannot miss you. And when that trust becomes unshakable, there is nothing left to block, there is nothing left to fear, there is nothing left to question, because you are no longer searching for confirmation outside of yourself, you are carrying it within you, and that is what makes you unstoppable, that is what makes your path clear, that is what allows your blessings to flow freely into your life without resistance, without delay, without limitation. And when it all unfolds, when everything you have been preparing for finally arrives, you will not just receive it, you will understand it, you will appreciate it, you will protect it, and you will use it with purpose, because you know what it took to get here, you know what you had to overcome, you know how much you have grown, and that awareness will keep you grounded even as you rise higher and higher, because this is not just about reaching a destination, this is about becoming someone who can continue to grow, continue to evolve, and continue to walk in alignment no matter what comes next. So stand firm now, step forward now, and fully embrace who you are becoming, because there is nothing left that can truly stand in your way anymore. The path is opening, the alignment is real, and your moment is no longer coming. Your moment is here. My beloved child, this is the final awakening, the moment where everything you have felt, everything you have questioned, everything you have endured finally reveals its true meaning, because you are no longer the same person who started this journey. You are no longer the one who was confused by every delay, shaken by every obstacle, or discouraged by every closed door. Something within you has shifted, something within you has strengthened, and something within you has awakened to a level that cannot be undone. And this is exactly where you were always meant to arrive, not at a place where life suddenly becomes perfect, but at a place where you become unshakable, where your faith is no longer dependent on circumstances, where your direction is no longer controlled by fear, and where your identity is no longer shaped by the opinions of others, but by the truth you now carry within yourself, because now you understand that being chosen was never about ease, it was about elevation. It was never about comfort, it was about calling, and it was never about receiving without effort. It was about becoming someone capable of handling what you receive with wisdom, strength, and purpose. And now that you stand here at this level of awareness, there is one final thing you must release completely, and that is the belief that something is still blocking you, because the moment you hold on to that belief even slightly, you recreate the very limitation you have just broken through. You must step fully into the knowing that nothing external has power over what is divinely aligned for you. Nothing can delay it beyond its purpose, nothing can steal it from your path, and nothing can replace what has your name written on it. And when you truly accept this, not just as words but as a deep inner truth, something extraordinary happens. Your energy becomes clear, your focus becomes sharp, your actions become intentional, and your path begins to move with a natural flow that does not need to be forced, because now you are no longer resisting your own evolution, you are no longer questioning your own worth, you are no longer hesitating at the edge of your own potential, you are stepping into it fully, completely, and unapologetically. And this is where your blessings stop feeling like something distant and start becoming something present, something real, something tangible in your life, because you are finally in alignment with them, not chasing them, not begging for them, but matching them through who you have become. And this is the secret that many never realize. Your life changes the moment you stop waiting to receive and start preparing to hold, the moment you stop asking why is this blocked and start declaring I am ready, the moment you stop looking outside for answers and start trusting what has already been placed inside you. And as you move forward from this moment, you will begin to see a new pattern emerge, not one of delay, not one of confusion, but one of clarity, alignment, and momentum, where things begin to connect, where timing begins to make sense, where opportunities begin to appear in ways that feel almost effortless. And that is not coincidence, that is alignment. That is what happens when your inner world matches your outer path, and you are now stepping into that alignment fully and completely. And with that alignment comes responsibility, because what is coming into your life is not small, it is not temporary, and it is not without purpose. It is meant to expand you, it is meant to elevate you, and it is meant to position you in a way that allows you to impact more than just yourself. And this is why everything had to happen the way it did. This is why the delays were necessary. This is why the challenges were unavoidable. And this is why the growth was essential, because without it you would not be who you are right now. And who you are right now is exactly who is needed to carry what is coming next. So do not look back with regret. Do not question the timing. Do not doubt the path, because every step has led you here, and here is exactly where your next chapter begins, not in uncertainty, not in hesitation, but in clarity, in strength, and in truth. And as you step into this new chapter, remember this: you are not chasing your blessings anymore, you are walking with them. You are not hoping for your moment anymore, you are living in it. You are not waiting to be chosen anymore, because you already are, and you always have been, and now nothing stands between you and what is meant for you except your willingness to fully embrace it, to fully step into it, and to fully believe that it is already yours. So rise completely now, leave behind every doubt, every fear, every illusion of limitation, and walk forward as the person you have become, because that person is ready, that person is aligned, and that person is unstoppable. And this is not the end, this is the beginning of everything you were always meant to experience.